but still, it doesn't change my
closer to
point.
1 billion.
It doesn't change my
Yeah.
That doesn't change my point that it is a big controversy on whether or not Josh is natural. Like, it's a common thing. You see it in his comments all the time. I feel like half the people don't believe him. But I think that part of the reason is because now it's skewed in the other direction where we don't believe, where a lot of people who are witnessing social media in the fitness space believe everyone's a fake nanny sometimes.
Yes.
And I think that sucks because that ruins the hope of a lot of people or kids that want to become better.
Yeah, and to
I
speak
think
on
that's
kids,
rough.
it is a problem. Iron Youth Performance Facility. All these kids expect to put on like 40 pounds in 2 months.
Right.
And you have to bring them down to reality. Like, you're not going to do what these guys do because you're an athlete and you're going to be tested. And honestly, you don't need to take it. You're a teenager.
Right.
So the problem is they see these unrealistic people and they think they can get there. Then they get disappointed when they don't get those kind of gains. So it's one of those things, but it's always been there. I thought Arnold was natural when I was a kid.
Right.
Like, because he
Regardless,
said, yeah, I'm natural.
Gains, I would across the board eat.
All right, let's go to my point of view. So from my experience, right, I started working out around 18 and a half years old. And I was tempted to do steroids. Basically, those times were like Danabol, pills, injections, you name it, right? They were accessible at any gym. They even offer me. So before that, I had the information got from everybody, general population, that steroids can affect your genitals. Steroids can provoke acne. Steroids can shorten your life, wherever. So I researched, through internet, forums, Softpedia, wherever, back in those days. And, even from users of steroids, they were saying, like, do not use unless you want to compete in those competitions where Arnold was competing, right? Mr. Olympia, bodybuilding, that everybody in the industry had to use that gear in order to compete with those massive people. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that there were no information at that time saying that, hey, it's impossible to acquire that physique naturally. Means naturally, like eating, even increase your eating volume, eating ingredients, you name it. No matter how much you want to eat and work out twice, or take more rest, you will never able to achieve that physique. You know what I'm saying? Nobody told me, you have to research, alright? So when you get the information, you be like, okay, what do you want to choose? In the end, it's everybody's decision. Okay, so moving forward, okay, did not ever try steroids and did not intend it. I was watching the people at the gym, okay, they're jacked, stuff like that. I was watching Arnold, I was watching magazines, with these bodybuilders promoting protein powder. So that was a big scheme, to be honest, because the industry was kind of, sketchy about it, because they were promoting protein powders, supplements with these bodybuilders' own gear, but not disclosing the gear. All right, that's shame on them. But with evolution, people kind of find the body. You know what I'm saying? Even Arnold confessed at some point. Look at him. He had multiple surgeries, heart surgery. These bodybuilders, they had to sacrifice a lot of health things. Health issues with heart, internal organs. So you think about it, you balance. You do want to be like in that position. You get your ego lifted, and besides, if you want to compete and get prizes and money, sponsors, okay, good. But with the sacrifice of your longevity of your life, I don't think so. I don't know. So in my opinion, I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna be natural. So with consistency, I notice results. People will just have feedback. Hey, bro, you look at you, you're jacked and stuff like that. But obviously, you get those compliments from those that are not as jacked as you, or even not heavy lifters, or probably not even going to the gym. They will give you these compliments, but never from somebody who is way more jacked and give you compliments. Except one time it happened to me when I just competed first time last year at this bodybuilding show, which is not natural. It's like you can be as a natural participating in a bodybuilding show that accepts everybody, even with steroids user or non-steroids user. So my mom's like, yeah, I'm gonna go there and probably get a solid place as a natural, you know. I even got a compliment from somebody that say, hey, you look better from the other people, and some people are actually using steroids. Anyway, there's one category in bodybuilding, you know, men's physique, which in that category, you don't need to be like swole, like those doing open bodybuilding, you know. There's different categories. I'm not gonna mention here because I don't know very exactly, but you can look it up. So in bodybuilding shows, there are different categories. And open bodybuilding is like people are twice size as mine, you know, if you can make an imagination exercise. Hey, at that point, obviously I won't be able to compete with them. I mean, you can compete, you pay, right? You pay and you can compete. But you're gonna look out of context, you know, out of the place, you know. Hey, so men's physique is where they look for the lean muscle, symmetry, you know. That's where I like to be, you know, because that's what I was working for. I want to have a symmetric body. Hey, here we go here. The root of this mentality is what you want to do with this healthy fitness lifestyle, like you want to adopt in your life. You want to look good, you want to have self-esteem. You know, when you go somewhere, people will recognize that you're disciplined, right? Based on your appearance. But you get also people asking like, hey, are you using any steroids? Okay, here's two ways you can take that impression, that feedback. You can be like, in a laughing situation like I was doing, I was like, I don't use any steroids. You know, but you don't have to explain or you convince people, bro, I don't use steroids. Trust me, believe me, please, I'm natural. No, none of that. You can just be like, taking it as a compliment because, hey, if when a steroid person user doesn't look up or look like you as a natural, that means you did something good, right? Kudos for you and myself. All right. But where I was talking with this conversation that steroid users and non-steroid users in bodybuilding, right? It also depends what you want to deliver to the population, to general population. You want to help people to get healthy, right? But when once you're a steroid user and you want to motivate and inspire people to do healthy lifestyle, I think that's a, how would you say, that's a conflict, to be honest. That's a conflict of, I would say, integrity and correct information or correct inspiration. Okay, who I am to say how people should inspire other or not. Okay, let's go back to me. I'm doing natural this for 15 years or close to 16 years. But I had like ups and downs, lifestyle changes, work-wise, you know. It's hard to implement a consistent bodybuilding or, you know, lifting weights, going to the gym every day, or athletic lifestyle, right? You like to run, do cardio, feel good, and eventually get in good shape. That's a consequence, right? But when you have a work that impedes you to achieve the peak of your performance, like you gotta check your nutrition, you know, because when you work in a restaurant as a waiter, right? I've been doing this for 10 years, working in restaurants. From dishwasher, busser, food runner, you know, bartender, bar back, you know, this job is constantly running. It's like cardio. You burn a lot of calories. And of course, during the shift, in order to not to lose, you know, go to catabolic, you know, like you lose all the gains that you did in the gym, you know, you ate in your days off and at work, you lose all that work you put it. Well, you see, it's also important to know your body. Look, it took me years and years to realize basic things about my body. I have difficulties to gain weight. I can gain weight much faster, but I will feel like shit. So my mind doesn't want that, and I don't want that either, right? I want to, you know, systematically gain weight because that's why I created myself my happiness. You know, like, hey, I want to reach 200 pounds and then drop it straight down to maybe 185 and look jacked. You know, natural. It takes a lot of work and time. You know, you can't get those results as a natural, very compared to somebody on steroids that can get those results 3 times faster. And I get it. We drawn to the instant gratification. We want it all fast. The dopamine. We're driven by dopamine instead of serotonin when you like waiting for the long term and reap what you sow. Okay, we're going all over the place with this subject. So I'm gonna wrap it up and in saying that I'm an advocate of natural bodybuilding because that it's the healthy way, and healthy means longevity of life. Not only longevity, but also quality of your life. You know how many videos I've seen and read so many comments of steroid users. That means like they're abusing steroids, but they using that for their competition results and such. But doesn't mean necessarily they're gonna feel healthy. You know, I read and I hear podcasts, people that using steroids. It's such a big sacrifice for them. It's like it's a very hard road, you know. Another thing is, if you don't compete in bodybuilding and use steroids, okay, that's your choice. I'm not gonna judge you, you know. But think about it, that the damage can produce to you, because come on, we're human beings and we're easily getting addicted into more and more effect, you know. It's like sweets. You have sweets in the house, you're gonna snatch, you know, sweets. You don't have stuff till you eliminate the sweets from your house, and there you go. You make some change in your nutrition. Okay. You see, I'm a natural, and I competed once in my life in bodybuilding last year, and I'm gonna want to compete again. It's not necessary to compete in bodybuilding to prove a point to somebody. It's just something for me, right? Because once in my life, in my life, in the future, when I'm gonna be 60, 70, it's something I can watch back in retrospective and probably show to my future grandkids and say, look, you know, I used to be a badass, you know, it took me a while, it took me persistence, consistency, discipline, determination, you know, and be able to keep your word and not listen to other distractions around you, you know, because people are like, oh, we're using steroids, you bodybuilding, oh, you ego and stuff like that. Well, I think in this day, it's bad if you want to take care of yourself. I think it's insulting for those that are not taking care of themselves. You know, if somebody sees you and they're not in shape as you, they get a conflict, you know, it burns them, it hurts them, hurts their ego, hurts whatever thing is, you know. There's people in life, they can take 2 approaches if they see somebody doing better than them. One is getting inspired, it's like, wow, look at this guy. I see his videos, he's going to the gym, he's looking good. Probably I want to do the same thing. Probably I should do something because, you know, not only self-esteem is lower, probably health-wise is lower too. My immune system. You know, if it's not necessary to eat a lot, even eat a lot is not healthy. Eat balanced and eat less processed food. Everybody knows, you know, he knows, she knows, everybody knows what they have to do with their nutrition, with your lifestyle, with their healthy lifestyle to do, you know. You gotta eat. You are what you eat, you know. And I think I'm gonna cover it because I don't want to make it too long video. But if you like the video, hit a subscribe, like, put it in a comment. What should I discuss next to update? Once again, I'm not certified. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying from my own experience and what I perceive and expressing my perspective towards what people discussing these days on social media. All right, be healthy, stay healthy, and don't give up.